Hello, friends. Nestled on 15 wooded acres stands a place where winter yields to passion. For 74 years, the Short Hills Invitational has called to the finest. Here, tradition finds its perfect echo. Legends are remembered, rivalries are renewed. This is the Short Hills Club Platform Tennis Invitational, a tradition unlike any other, where heated courts defy the season and skill meets grace. The Short Hills Invitational, where the paddle sings and the spirit of the game lives on. Join us as history unfolds. A tradition unsurpassed.
We're all tied up, and this first set is dead even.
Unbelievable combination.
Wow.
Beautifully done.
What a great spot.
Hello and welcome to the 2025-26 APTA Tour. We're live from the Short Hills Club in Short Hills, New Jersey, bringing you the 2026 Short Hills Invitational Grand Prix, with live streaming brought to you by the APTA membership and our tour presenting sponsor, Corient. Tournament support has also been provided by the following: JP Morgan Private Bank, the world's best private bank. Additional local sponsors: Mabel Crest Ford Lincoln of Union, Xenon Paddle, Spyro Harrison and Nelson, Paper Ribbon Wrap, T-Spa by Tutela Plastic Surgery, New Jersey Men's Platform Tennis Association, Suzanne Emmerich of Keller Williams Premier Properties, Club Pilates, New Jersey Women's Platform Tennis League, Swack Slacks Lacrosse, and New Jersey Flex League. I'm Brad Easterbrook alongside Dave Broderick, bringing you men's quarterfinal round action between the unseeded team of Drew Broderick and Tomas Christian against the four-seeded team of Gregurovic and Ostojic. And our umpire for this match is Elena Nix. And Dave, I'm sure you'll be completely unbiased reporter here for this match. Your brother here in the quarterfinals with a great round of 16 win. So why don't you do a little players on the court?
Sure. As we all said, Drew Broderick, head pro over at Canubra Country Club. Tomas Christian, his partner, is the head pro at Sewanee Country Club. And on the court right now, Drew Broderick's ready to serve. Unfortunately, starts out with a fault. His partner at the net is Tomas Christian in all black. At the top of the screen, you have Tommy Gregurovic, and his partner in the green top is Tin Ostojic.
All right.
Which is kind of interesting. They're starting out on different sides.
Yeah. Unique. Yeah. All right, so talk a little bit about this matchup here. You know, Gregurovic and Ostojic had a great year. They're seeded fourth here. This is an interesting matchup, you know, and it's a great result here. You know, of course, Drew Broderick getting elected into the Hall of Fame this year, your brother, and deservedly so. One of the all-time greats, four-time national champion. Oh, what a great move there and a good read.
And that's part of why he's such great gets. I mean, that was an amazing get.
Yep, terrific get there and a great read from Tomas Christian to cut off that volley. All right. He's going to serve and stay back against Ostojic. Now he's going to work his way in. But this matchup for Gregurovic and Ostojic, it's been tough against your brother. Your brother plays that incredible defensive style, but he makes great gets. He makes you work so hard for the points. And Gregurovic and Ostojic, they like to play off of stuff, and generally like the points to move quicker. So I'm curious about this matchup. But if you're going to lob really short like that in this cold weather, doesn't matter how many gets you're going to get. You're going to struggle making those gets because it's great drop shot weather out there.
And I think from watching this, Brad, what you think, but I think this is going to be more of a mental battle for Gregurovic and Ostojic than it's going to be a physical battle. They have all the physical talent in the world to win this match, but are they going to be able to withstand the patience of Broderick Christian?
Yeah, and Broderick Christian, of course, are a very good combination in that regard together. Christian's got a terrific sense of when to cut off a volley, and he doesn't go for too much. He plays with your brother very well, and they play that style where they really just give you nothing, On the flip side, they don't crush you with offense.
Right.
So they build the points,
right, they don't win
one
many
after
points.
another. So they don't win quickly either. So, and that there are times where if you can get over on it or show that you can withstand it, where do they go from there?
Right.
Right? Where are Christian and Broderick going to go from there? If they don't get some kind of, we'll say that's a loose error.
Right.
From Gregurovic and Ostojic.
And they can't do any more of that.
Yeah. What do you mean, Gregurovic and Ostojic?
They can't give away points.
Right, Gregurovic
Because
and Ostojic.
that's what
right.
Drew and Tomas
They're going
are
to feed
looking
off.
for. They're going to feed off. Yeah.
For them to win, they need a few points of errors, free points from their opponents, because they're not going to win all their points off their paddles just with one booming shot after another. They're also not going to get a game where they just hit force winning returns and it's over, right? Those games don't happen then. So everything is always calculated and building these points. And so far, great start for them. They get the error they want. They get a fault here. And this is, like you said, the challenge for Gregurovic and Ostojic. It's a tough matchup for them.
I think if you look at this matchup, it's very opposite in terms of styles. I think at the end of the day, this is Ostojic and Gregurovic's match to win or lose.
Yeah,
as we see right there with a great drop shot there by Tommy Gregurovic.
Yeah, so once again, this is Tin Ostojic starting this service. And that's Drew Broderick, the two-hander there in the backcourt. Oh, great turnaround spot. And what's great about Tomas Christian and his partnership, and they've had some great wins together, Tomas Christian has quietly had a very good year. He's got 2 finals, on this season. One with Tom Murphy and another one who's he played with. But
Well, I think the other thing about with Tomas is that, it'll be interesting because I think as picky and choosy as he is when he plays with Drew, he can surprise you and he can bring it.
he's got a good forehand.
He's got a good forehand. He's got a good backhand. He's got really good overheads at the net. He can bring it. So, you just have to be careful and you have to be aware of what's going on, and you can't let it surprise you because he can bring it.
But that's part of what the whole strategy is about too. If you after 10 lobs or 20 lobs, right, you get used to the lobs. And then when the drive comes, it's quick and you've been softened up so you're a little further off the net than you normally would. And that's sort of the whole design behind it. Get these guys a little off the net, get the ball you want, and take that one. And if you don't have it, go back and continue on until you get it. And it's basically paddle 101, with the basic difference of, they're counting on winning a few more. Most people think about winning points, not losing them.
Right.
I think Drew starts off with not losing points, your brother, and then he works on winning them later, right? He starts off with not losing. And it's a tough style to play against. But because it is a mental battle. It starts with a mental battle, and, Drew Broderick is one of the best mentally tough players that's ever played the game. All right, I love this use of the drops, though, just because it just creates the movement, either way, and there's less penalty for it today. You can hit a drop almost any ball as long as you don't really set it up. You're okay. He's going to do another one, and it's good.
Great job.
And even though your brother and Drew Broderick is extremely fit, he's still not 35 or 30 anymore. He's upper 40s.
He's
getting
catching up
closer
to
to 50. He's catching up, right?
Catching up.
So, and this weather, that's 2 drop shot winners already for Gregurovic and Ostojic, and I love the play for them.
And that was a pretty good one.
It was an exceptional one, and it's going to work well on 2 reasons. It's going to make them move, and 2, even if it doesn't, it sort of forces the play to move faster in one direction or another.
Right. And it creates space.
It creates some movement, and it's either going to force Broderick and Christian to hit the ball, or it's going to force them to be out of position. One or the other, something more is going to happen.
Right.
And you notice the first 2 ones they've hit, they've been to Broderick's side. They haven't actually gone to Christian yet with the drop shot. Maybe once early, but that was more like they were going to hit a winner against anybody there. Nobody was near it.
And again, we talk about it all the time where, the beginning of a match is important, and I don't think the beginning of this match is that important.
Interesting, yeah.
I think that whatever happens in the first 4 to 5 games it's not really that important. It's going to set a table for either team.
Right.
You know, Drew's already figuring out, you know, what am I going to do 4 hours later from now, 2-all in the second set.
Right. You know, I think you make actually an excellent point. In many ways, if he's down 4-love, if he's made him played enough points, he's really trying to get to also a break point for Ostojic and Gregurovic.
Yeah.
And as you mentioned early on, in many ways, it's their match to win or lose, and it's their mental battle, right?
It's Brad, I tell everyone this all the time. It's like, you know, you can't decide tomorrow you're going to go to the gym and bench press 500 pounds.
Right.
So when you walk on the court with like Drew and Tomas, it's not like, okay, we know we've got to keep the ball in play 400 times. Today's the day we're going to do it. If you're not used to doing that, you're not going to do it.
Right.
You can't do it. And I think that's where a lot of people falter, is they kind of get sucked into that marathon of a match, and they're not used to playing it.
Right. And right now they do get their first break point. A little quick exchange at the net. And it's funny, it's not that the athletic things don't exist out there, it's just that you basically got to wait for them.
Right.
Right? You know, like there was a quick, fast exchange with great hands at the net. All the hands that you see that are from, you know, all the best players in the country. And there we go. He goes for the cutter because he's already frustrated in the second game. And as you said, the start doesn't matter, but it does. We have a score discrepancy here. Yeah. And that's the tough thing. We should mention the umpires are not out on the court. They're usually up in the chair. It is too cold. It is insanely windy. All right, so that was a deuce point. That was, again, our no-ad point. And it's an incredible shot. And remember the men's scoring system, of course, at deuce. The server gets to choose who they're serving to, their serving team. Yeah, the cut overheads will not have the same effect today. You can do it, but it's not. You're not going to get the ball to compress. We're not going to see like cut drop shot winners, but we will still drop shot winners, but not cut drop shot winners. We're not going to see those. In fact, a cut drop shot winner will be easier to get today because it's not going to spin back into the net.
Offense.
Yeah, it's not going to spin back into the net. Drop shot winners are extremely available. You know, but we won't see the others. And, you know, Broderick's got a very good cut overhead, but I don't think it's going to matter today. I think what's going to matter is whether that goes in or not, that drive there. It's a good little off-pace drive. It looked just long to me.
Yeah, I think it was out.
And we've been trying to get the players, because the umpires are inside and basically reporting the score via kind of a tablet that they use to indicate. So there are going to be no overrules in this match. Line calls will be basically decided by the players on the court. If we get to a point where somebody wants a representative out there, they probably would be able to get one, but there's no way they're putting somebody up in the chair today for these matches. It's still at this point, it's probably about, you know, negative feels like temperature.
And the wind is just dangerous.
Yeah, I can't even imagine being up high in a chair today. And the wind gusts that we've seen throughout the day. I think the overhead, that's the carving kind that could work to a degree, is that long, low one.
Right.
Especially the one, I'd like it better if he swung it across the court
to the
to the ad side for your,
kind of like
for
Drew Broderick.
I think his overhead could work
yeah.
today. I just don't think any of those are going to, that require the bite or the movement, you know, they're not going to work. But the one that's long, because it's just going to skid a little, and you can get it down, that will be effective. But these, like you said, these are the points they want to play, you know, and I think so far Ostojic have done okay.
Yeah, no, they've been patient.
Yeah.
They've been kind of staying in the moment. You know, the only thing is, again, I don't know how long are they going to be able to last. Because
Sure.
after 2.5 games, Drew and Tomas have set the tone of the match.
Right.
Like they've set the pace of play.
Well, like you said, we've said this is a good matchup for Broderick and Christian, but it also is a great test because at some point, until Gregurovic and Ostojic, and they're seeded 4th here at one of the biggest tournaments of the year. They've had a fantastic season. But until they get to learn this, people will know. There'll be 2 or 3 teams out there that are always just going to be hard. Teams like a McNerney or any team that decides that they're going to do this, they're going to have to figure out a way to get through it at some point.
And I think just from watching throughout the course of the season, you know, I think very similar. Regalado Salazar play very similar to Drew and Tomas with maybe a little bit more explosive offense. But they play a similar style, and you know we've seen
the first year they certainly did.
Right.
They're adding more.
They're
to
adding
it
more
nowadays,
offense
for
to
sure.
it, right? But I think you watch the last time Gregurovic and Ostojic played Jose and Alvi, they were up 5-1, 5-2, and the patience kind of got to them a little bit.
Yep.
So again, like you said, you know teams can do it. It's just a matter for them. And again, I think you know we've watched. Tin and Tommy now for a couple of years keep improving and getting better and better and better. You know, and that's kind of the next level is to be able to be comfortable playing every style of play. They have to get used to it.
Help, knee.
I like how, though, they are taking some good off-pace drives on some of these. They're still trying to get their offensive looks like this, beautifully done. And they're not allowing for the play to be dictated when Broderick and Christian are at the net. They're taking their looks. When they're in the front court, Broderick and Christian are doing a good job controlling the pace, hanging in there. In the back court, they're doing a good job continuing to attack.
And again, we said it earlier on. I mean, you know, they just Gregurovic or Ostojic just have to be patient.
And they're hitting low lobs here. Look at these lobs. They're not trying to get them up into the wind.
Let's go.
They're trying to make that ball go up and down, and that was a quick one-timer there from Ostojic. Great shot. All right, 2-1 now for Gregurovic and Ostojic.
Very good.
So, Dave, you're going to give a speech at your brother's Hall of Fame induction at Canoebrook?
No one's asked me
No
yet.
one's asked you for a speech yet.
No.
Well, I'm officially on air asking you for a speech at your brother's Hall of Fame induction.
If we have to do it, we do it. You know, that's how it goes.
You need a new one?
All right, so all our other live stream courts, we got all the men's quarterfinals going on shortly. I believe the only one still to go out is Powers and Nunez against Ong and Friedrich.
Powers and Nunez, it looks like they're out there warming up.
They're just getting out there now. All right.
So I think the Burish, Urdoya, Regalado Salazar match is complete.
Yep, Regalado Salazar through against Burish Urdoya, 6-3, 6-3. Continuing their march through the season, just been absolutely stellar. Only one blemish. Lost to Nunez and Powers early on in Baltimore. Other than that, been perfect. Good drop shot. I love the choice. Nice dink there from Christian. Then he hesitates and stays up a little and makes him think about it. Ostojic puts it in the net. Gregurovic not going for a big serve. That's the look. He's almost exclusive. He's one of his best shots that he wants, and he's happy to hit that high forehand. Probably wants that one back.
Yeah.
But
And And again, like we talked about earlier on, a great return by Tomas Christian there.
Perfect.
Big forehand. You know, we talked about it earlier on where it's like Drew gets that big overhead that he likes to hit. He can't afford to miss it because they don't win many points. They don't lose a lot of points, but they don't win many. And when you get an opportunity, you can't miss it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure he'd say the same thing. It's just a question of you still have to take it, right?
No.
You know,
I'm saying
like,
I think he's fine with taking that shot. It's just a matter of, you can't miss it.
So far, the biggest thing that I've seen is the
drop
drop
shot.
shot's killing him.
Yeah.
And it's killing him because they're doing low lobs. And your brother does love the low lob because he thinks it gets more up to down overheads, which will give him that high attacking ball off the screen.
But I think the low lob is good with a different temperature because you can't spin the ball as much. It's lower. It's a tougher shot to really slash and hit cut winners. Where in the colder weather, I think he can go with a higher lob.
And I think he might want to because they're able to drop it even from a little higher because it's so cold that the ball hits the ground and it doesn't bounce over the level of the net again. And every time they've moved him forward in the court, they've had an advantage, right? And that's what they're looking for. And that's the number one play now for Gregurovic and Ostojic, and they take a 3-1 lead
Good
now.
close there.
Yeah. All right.
And I think if you look at Gregurovic and Ostojic, they can really take advantage of the mid-speed drive. Like I think if
You
Drew
mean
and
when
Tomas
Drew and Tomas hit the
go
mid-speed
half-speed,
drive, they can drop it or
Yes.
kind of slap it behind
Yep,
him, at least
they're-
make him have to think about it. Yes.
Their skills are too good for the half-pace drive in this weather.
I think that's a fair assessment. Yeah, and I think it's, a useful thing, but it's sort of like you saying you can't lift 500 pounds in one day. That's what they use.
Right.
Drew, your brother uses the off-pace drive. He doesn't use the power drive. Does he have to get away from it a little bit, or does he have to be just that much more judicious with it?
Well, I think he just has to, make better decisions and pick and choose when he uses it, and kind of mix it up so it's not as, predictable.
Good dig there. Nice backhand from Gregurovic, little push forehand.
And again, even though they're serving, it's love 15, they're down 1-3. Do you think Drew and Tomas are concerned yet?
No, I don't think they're concerned at all.
Which isn't a good thing for Gregurovic and Ostojic.
No, but the thing that is a good thing for them is that so far they've had the right thing, and they figured out the one area that's going to really work for them, which is the drop shot.
The drop shot, yeah.
Because the honest truth is, they may not be worried, Broderick and Christian at this point, but it's not like Gregurovic and Ostojic are having to play 100-ball points. They're getting the drop early in it, and they're able to find a way to create enough movement, to get their points.
Space. Yep. As we hear the wind howling out there.
It's crazy. And, you're using the words like the wind howling. You really don't get a full appreciation. You can see the
How
actual.
bundled up everybody is.
Yeah, not only that, you can see the screen shaking here. We're watching this on the live stream. You see it shaking. It's shaking because the actual cage is shaking.
Right, the cameraman's hands aren't cold.
Yes, that's not a cameraman out there. Those are attached to the screen, which are wobbling back and forth. The wind gusts are really the story of the day. It's not the actual just that it's cold. It was cold in Boston, but to me this was much worse based on the 20-mile-per-hour wind gusts and things of that nature. And that's the only reason no one's in the chair. We had cold weather in Boston, weeks ahead. Like it's a legit, real winter here in New England and the tri-state area this year.
Also, in the last 2 years, somehow, I think New Jersey's replaced Texas as the windiest state in the country.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Next.
reads. See, Christian's very good at reading things, but that time the slap volley goes awry, gets to the side, and then they have to catch caught in a flip there. Hard to come up with that second one. Ooh, it's a good look on the drive. Challenging serve into the body, though, 30-all. And we just got a blast of cold air.
Blast.
Yes, it actually came inside our area. It's a confined area, but we have this one little sliver window where wires go out, and you can feel the cold air actually even coming inside here. The wind is pushing it so far. Being very patient. You can see the windscreen in the back just blowing back. It is definitely a harder day for two things: controlling high lobs and, you know, just for the cutting overheads.
Yeah.
It's hard to load underneath and the ball moves in the air. We're not going to see the cut finishers. Oh, that's going to be perfect. And I couldn't tell if he hit that completely clean or a little off the edge of the paddle. But either way, it is a perfect pace drive to bring this back to deuce.
Yeah,
from Gregurovic. And it is of course, all these deuce points are game points. Goes in hard to the backhand. Looks like Ostojic got a little fooled on that, but he tracks it down. And we're going to go back to the same point. He takes it. Good volley. Push. Oh, little trick. No blitz behind it, though, and he's bailing. All right. I think that was wise. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I listen, you know, again, I don't think Drew and Tomas want to get involved in fast-paced action, so they feel comfortable playing from the baseline. They've won many points. They've broken many serves from the baseline, so I don't think it's a big deal where they feel comfortable coming out. Another big drop shot there.
Yeah, the drop has been the #1 weapon so far, you know, for these guys.
And I think if you watch, you know, Drew got that last one, and he actually hit a pretty good forehand, so, you know, maybe that's something where it'll make him think about hitting a couple more drop shots.
Oh, great fake there, and the drop fake gets
yeah.
Broderick that time. They've hit maybe 10 drop shots so far, and that time he fakes the drop. He sees Broderick move up, and so far, I would say the off-pace drive has worked very much against them, not for them. They're not creating the space of the winners, and they're not getting that loose air they want. And Ostojic, that's a great break for them. I believe it's 4-1.
Yeah.
Yeah, for Gregurovic and Ostojic. You know, it's funny though. In the round before, Broderick and Christian played against Fraser and Rams, another team with, you know, just incredible talent, a lot of skill, attacking style, and their style of game worked really well against them as well, winning 7-5, 7-6.
They were down 5-1 in the first set,
and then suddenly it just kind of flipped over. And, you know, and that's what this strategy does, and that's what you're talking about. It's 4-1 now for Broderick, for Gregurovic and Ostojic.
And they're thinking we have him right where
we
we want
him. Right, there we go. Right. We got him right where we want him. Yeah.
Ostojic and Gregurovic are going, we're rolling.
Yes, that's
and Drew and Tomas are going, nah, we got it right where we want him.
There you go. Well, we'll see. You know, because so far,
you know,
I haven't seen any. And Gregurovic and Ostojic, we'll get to your point in a sec. Sorry, they wear their hearts on their sleeves.
Yeah.
You know, like, so we'll see when they get frustrated. In fact, for them, part of the mental battle, I even think, even improving, is you got to be yourself, but they could also kind of put it inside a little bit more, you know, or channel it to a different direction. I think in many ways, it's one of the ways that isn't their strength. You know, they run in hot and cold sometimes.
Right.
You know, go ahead. What was your point?
No, I was going to say that, you know, it's 4-1 and Ostojic and Gregurovic are thinking, oh, we might get out of here pretty soon. You know, we might have, but meanwhile, you know what? Like,
I don't think they're thinking that. He's been down that road.
Drew just went and told Tomas and went, okay, we're going to ramp this up to 400 shots a point.
The off-base drive isn't working. Well, then I'll take that out of there too.
They're either going to feel the pain now or later, but they're going to feel the pain
one way or the other. It's funny. Early on, when they used to have one of the Grand Prix was the Detroit Grand Prix, and Gregurovic, Ostojic have been around now for a few years, but they're still more newcomers than not. It's a good look. A little on the full run there, but shot the. He comes, and he played Drew Broderick, and they beat him handily. And Tommy walked by, and I was doing the commentary at the time. He walked by, and he looked straight at me. He goes, "It's unbelievable, man. This is just ridiculous. It's just ridiculous." And you could. And what he meant really was that it's just he wouldn't miss the ball. He wouldn't miss the ball, right? And clearly at that time they weren't ready for that, right? They look a lot more ready for it today, right now.
And at the time, they were just as talented, and they're thinking to themselves, how did that just happen?
Yeah, that's a great lob right there. Quick, what a off-pace drive there, but beautifully done. Perfect from Tomas Christian. Perfect play. It's like a ninja assassin. He's got he's got the headband and like the that cord. That time he misses the drop. We got a break point here. Serve out.
And this is where it can start getting a little dangerous. I think it's 2-4. I think the score might be 2-4.
Yeah, we're going to have to get a check on that. We think it's 2-4.
But
Hold on 1 second. Let me check with the umpire. All right, we're going to find out. With the umpires in there, we
definitely know that it's either 2-4 or 3-3.
Well, that much we got. That much we got.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
We know they played 6 games.
Different animal out here with the cold weather, and the umpire's not in the chair. And I've had 2 varying reports with a couple of people saying it's 2-4. We believed it was 2-4, but again, we can't see every single point. You said he hit an ace at one point, but maybe it was a fault. See, Ron Cummins thinks they won the first 2 games.
Yeah.
You had thought Ostojic hit an ace.
An ace, yeah.
But so that could be the discrepancy right there. We're going to find that out.
But what I was going to say, before we were talking about the score, is that this is the one where they get to break a serve, and if you're Ostojic and Gregurovic, you just don't want them hanging around, and they're hanging around right now, and
yes.
that's only playing into what Drew and Tomas want to do.
Well, I tell you what, if it's 3-all versus 4-2, it's much better, because part of what you want is the light at the end of the tunnel that gives you the hope to get there.
Right.
Right?
Right.
When you're 4-2, you're a lot closer
3-3
than 3-8.
is way further away if you're Gregurovic.
It's a lot further away.
This train's far away.
You're absolutely right. It's a big ball there off the screen. It's a good drive. All right, so this will be a big kind of report, because we have different reports here inside the hut and from our umpire, and this is the difference without the umpires in the chair. It'll also be interesting, if there are ever discrepancies on calls, they're going to have to work it out themselves, and that's how it used to be back in the day. So 4-2 it is. Okay, the score is 4-2. It was an ace. Yeah, I think that's where the discrepancy lied in the scoring. Ostojic, I think it was the second game, right?
Yeah.
Hit an ace on the deuce point, and it might have been considered a fault. So it's 4-2 for Gregurovic and Ostojic.
And I think in a match like this, when you have 2 contrasting styles of play, for Gregurovic and Ostojic, they still have to stay focused. They've got to stay in it. They can't sort of get lulled to sleep.
Yeah, no, that's part of what the strategy is. The strategy does work. It works like Novocaine. It's a painkiller, right? Essentially, you
Bringing
take
out
a little
the old school Novocaine again.
Yeah, sure, but it works a lot like that. And essentially,
Well, the next
you
thing
get
you know, you
lulled
start
or you
making
get down.
mistakes.
You make mental errors. You make a
decisions.
mistake. You make a bad decision. You try to end something because you just can't take it anymore, right? You try
And
to
it
end
goes
it too
back.
soon.
Like I said, you can't decide, okay, this is the match I'm going to keep, infinity number of balls in play.
Well,
if that's not what you're used to, it's hard.
So far, so good. The one thing to watch, though, is what's happening now. So, to me, for this entire match and this entire set right now, I've got what I'm going to call the drop shot meter. Every time they get a drop shot, it's good for them.
Right.
Right? And now the drop shot is disappeared. Right? So when that drop shot disappears.
Because I also think the half-pace drive has gone away
It's gone away more so. Right. So when the drop shot disappears for them, they're going to have to win more points. Right? Drop shot, and now that they can't do. I mean, the whole system breaks down if Broderick and Christian miss lobs.
Right.
To me, that's an average ball. But the drop shot meter, when they don't get the drops and they can't force that kind of exchange, that just means it's more balls for them.
Right.
And
which they're not. That's not
correct.
They don't want that.
And this is good right now because the drop shot meter is in the first 3 games. I think we had 10.
High. Yeah.
10.
It's high.
Yeah. And now it's much less, which is good for Broderick and Christian. It means it's moving the way they want it to. They're still behind though. And when you play this way, you can't make up your points all at once unless your opponents give them to you. That's what they're counting on. So it's up to Gregurovic and Ostojic. Just hang in there. Stay the course. Keep playing well. Don't make those mental errors. That's a good ball.
And I'll tell you, Brad, even for this matchup, looking at the draw, I think sort of when it all came about, I would have to think both teams were sort of a little bit happy about
the draw they got. You mean?
Yeah,
sure.
I think so.
I think your brother could not have had a better round of 16 opponent. Maybe. I mean, Rams and Frazier, again, one of the most talented teams out there, but their style is much more fast.
Yeah.
Right. And you could easily see a way and a world in which the other guys are going to overplay a little.
Yeah.
Right. Were you able to watch that match? His round of 16?
I didn't know that was over at Canoebrook. I didn't get to see it. Yep. But, I mean, 7-5, down 5-1, winning 7-5, 7-6. That's, kind of can't get any tighter.
Certainly can't, and it's interesting because when you make that 5-1 comeback in the first set, you would think the other team might have gone away.
Yeah,
yes, but they did not. And they hung right back in there, which is, so it's just a great battle.
Well, I mean, Frazier and Rams have been out here for many years, and, I mean, they're a spectacular team.
Oh, good overheads right towards the crease. Great angle there from our producers. Can't seem to say the word. Well, it's a family affair. All the Brodericks in the house. Good close there. You can see that anticipation from Christian. He just moves right. He sees it coming. He's excellent at that. He also knows that he's got some coverage behind him.
Yeah.
That Drew Broderick's going to cover him with the overhead, so he can just slide right up to the net.
And you see, again, Drew's hitting a lot of overheads in this match, and, just for the record, Tomas Christian has a pretty amazing overhead. He's got a lot of variety to it. He could roll it, he could slash it, he could spin it. He's got good variety in his shots. So, obviously, we know because of Drew's history that there's definitely a set game plan. And, they're going to kind of stick to it. And they're either going to learn that it worked or it didn't work.
There's the drop shot meter back. First drop shot we've had in a while. And it starts, then the meter just basically goes up when he does more off-pace drives. And there he tries to end it a little too soon. And the honest truth is, that ball is just not a good ball today anyway.
Right.
He's not going to be able to cut it into street. That ball's going to hit the ground and bounce up without a lot of punishment to it. Oh, look at this. He just slap shotting those balls.
Not bad for the grandfather on the court.
He did great. The exchange and the volleys, still one of the best in the game. All right, terrific.
Brad, do you know that Corian is the official wealth sponsor of the APTA's 2025-2026 season? Corian is a fee-only wealth manager who puts their clients at the center of everything they do. Learn more at Corian.com.
Can you get a new ball for game?
All right.
Thank you to Corian and all the sponsors.
all the sponsors, all the the
For
workout
bringing you
here,
live streaming and
all the clubs.
I mean, yeah, we used Short Hills Invitational, used 16 clubs. There were over 400 players, 8 draws.
8 draws, yeah.
8 draws.
How's this ball? Good, right?
Again, you have the tournament committee led by Derek Bowen, Brian Skinner with Christina Bowen, Diane Brown, Jerry Brown, Mark Emmerich, Crystal Skinner, Sean Rosenau, Patrick Clark, Marissa Pick, the GM, Glenn Gang, Head of Facilities, Keith Dankin, and Chef CJ. And I'll tell you, it would be, for being here myself for many years, it wouldn't be right if I didn't mention Orlando, who's on the staff here at the Short Hills Club, doing this for 30 years, and the guy's a staple here at the Short Hills Club.
He is. I mean, and a wonderful guy. One of the
Most importantly, he's a
salt of
wonderful
the earth.
guy. Yeah, absolutely.
waterfall.
And I think, Brad, even, again, as we continue to talk about this and go on and on with it, we saw kind of in the last game when Christian was serving, Ostojic and Gregurovic actually took over the net on a couple of points, but they got a little impatient with the overhead.
Yep.
And we see here that, they're kind of just getting the ball, hitting balls back in play. They're not going for a whole lot. How long can they endure that? How long can they stay patient?
Yeah, and the problem is,
well, the problem is if they don't go for their
shots.
shots.
But the cutter's not really available.
Right.
The roller might be more so, or the long cutter. But the actual, the one you're going to bounce down into, that pressure over it doesn't really exist out here.
Right. And I think the problem is, too, is if you're just hitting these overheads to just get them back, I mean, Drew and Tomas are good enough they can hurt you still.
Oh, yeah, and you just showed it right there where Broderick took that sort of hook continental forehand. He slapped it right down at his feet, made him stretch. Ostojic can't come up with a volley. 15 love, Broderick Christian. And it's unique because not everyone can play this style. And there's a second one of the same shot. And Tomas Christian can. He's kind of like, I've always
said. You want to bet me the next one goes down the line?
Let's see. Sure, I'll take the bet. Why not? A little action. But, that's such a slippery drive, just right through the middle, sliding that in there. Not hard, perfectly placed. Early. All right, so triple break point here to get even. And at one time they were 4-2. At one time they were 4-1.
Cruising.
Cruising. Right at the end of the tunnels, didn't get any closer.
We said Drew and Tomas had a quick powwow.
Got them right where we
have them right where we want them. They think they're going to win this set easy.
All right, they get the drop shot meter working there. And Broderick, goes for the shot that he has. But they get the net. They want that. Anytime the action happens, whether they win it or lose it, they actually kind of want it.
Right, they'd rather them hit the ball hard at them.
Yeah, they want it.
They don't want the ball coming back up in the air.
Any chance that happens. Oh, that's going to be perfect. Great off-pace one. And sort of the long-term strategy of that slow ball, that makes you miss those things too because you hope it's out.
Right.
Right? And you're used to different things, a lob every time, and he hits like a three-quarter drive. Not much, but it just surprised him.
There we see Gregurovic and Ostojic switching at the baseline. We have Tommy Gregurovic over there in the blue top on the left-hand side of your screen, and the forehand, the deuce side of the court. His partner, Tin Ostojic.
Let it go.
Good move there.
Let it go is right. It's a great call from Broderick. Part of the strategy is to not play balls that you're likely to miss.
Right.
And in that case, he's in bad position. And Drew Broderick's one of the better, he's a very good reflex volley player, but he does it with position closer to the net.
He wasn't in
not
position
in the
to play that,
midcourt,
no.
and he's not in that position, so he should let it go, as he just yelled at himself about. And then that helps strategically wise, which allows them to lob more and more balls. We'd still be in this point if he did, right? In the last one, I mean. All right, this would be huge for them to get this game from love 40 down. And it's just too, I mean, that's not a bad look.
No, it's the
You
one
know,
he wants.
and
He wants
the,
that.
the one that he didn't. All right, so they're at deuce here. They're going to go probably back to Drew Broderick, I'm guessing. He's just going to push it in because Broderick generally doesn't take it. And surprisingly, the 4 errors come off of the Broderick paddle. And that is 5-3. What a huge hold
Love
for
40.
Yeah, from love 40 down for Gregurovic and Ostojic. But it's your brother in that case who pulled the trigger soon, right? You know, in that one there. He didn't have to hit that one.
Like they were kind of quick mistakes.
Yes, and they happen in a short time frame. And when you're playing this type of strategy, that's not what you're looking for. You are looking for quick, like once in a while getting a quick point here and there. But that's not what got him to love 40. Right? You know, the quick drives. I can't say any of them were horrible looks, though, Dave.
Right, they were just
I just think
unforced errors.
they're off-brand because maybe they're a little too soon. He's usually driving when he is ready to drive.
Right.
There.
Not when the opportunity's there.
Correct. Not just because it's drivable. And in that case there, I'm not saying that wasn't a drivable ball, and there are many players who would drive it and have a great success rate with it. Did that go over?
It went out of the court.
It did, so a loss there, a little bit of a... He didn't tip it, though, right? It just went out. All right, but my point is, though, that ball was drivable. A lot of players would drive it.
Right.
But they're driving it because that's what they do. That's not what your brother does. You know, your brother does it the other way around. It's not that he can't, but so he got off-brand for 2 or 3 points. He doesn't let the one drive go through. And he takes that quick drive there. The other 2 I kind of think were okay. You know, like he just missed them. C'est la vie. It's the way it goes. But those 2, and that's a huge thing.
Right.
You know, because
like he had the look on the backhand, which he likes hitting. He's got it on that ball. He had to make somebody volley it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
He may have tipped it. I think they said 5 love.
All right, then it's too hard for us to tell. And
But
maybe
again,
that's why it went
that's
out of the
right.
court. So that's the difficulty. We believe it's 15 love, right? And that he did tip it. I think the rule should be if you're the guy who tipped it, you went out and got
You
it.
have to go get it,
yeah,
right?
so Ostojic went out. So otherwise, you know, Drew Broderick should have gotten it. But I don't think he would have gotten it even if he didn't tip it. So
he would have said, "Hey, I see it."
right, it's over there. Yeah, that's a big forehand and a bad change of direction there from, yeah, he's whacking himself in the head. Ostojic, he's in the green because he basically just laid it up to the, you know, to the forehand of Christian, who just promptly said thank you and hit it right through the middle. All right, so 30 love. Just get the hold here and get back to it because that was a blip in the last game from love 40 and a missed opportunity. Oh, that's a great shot there.
That's a good ball. Well spotted.
Yeah, very well spotted. And sometimes when you look to cut it off,
you leave the line open a little bit.
Yeah, and you leave it open.
But
to me, I'd let it go.
But it also does take a precision, high-skilled player to hit it.
Sure. I also think maybe let it go. But in this weather, it's harder to track down the balls because it's not so simple. It's so cold out.
You know, and again, as this match goes on and on and on, you know, you watch there like Tin and Tommy are lobbing returns to serve. They don't normally do that.
Yeah.
You know, I think they're sort of, you know, they realize how important every point is.
To me, that's a good sign.
Right. Like they realize how just getting the point started and getting in the point, how vital that is.
Yeah, that's interesting, actually, when you think about it that way. I know, because you're right. They're not driving as many as they normally would. But it still could be a source of offense for them. They still have very good returns.
Yeah.
You know, they
really
could win some points with it. But the fact that they're not, almost makes it a good sign.
It's almost like they're weighing the risk reward.
Yes, they not only that, but they're also just they know that the faster we play, the worse this gets, or the more likely we're going to fall into the trap of making more mistakes, and that's probably good for them. The question, like you said before, is how long can they keep it up, right? Starts with this game here. Now it's 5-4. They got to go back and do this 30 more, 7 more, 8 more times in the next game. Oh, I thought that was a great drop shot opportunity.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're already committed to what you think you're going to hit. Waterfall.
And the one thing is, I don't think we're going to see a lot of drop shots out of Drew and Tomas.
Yeah, because it makes it faster.
But also, they don't traditionally do that. They're more, again, grind it out, hit good overheads, solid overheads, not able to get attacked against.
Right.
Me.
Nice little quick drive. Wow. They're really hanging in here. And this is a point like, it's a 40-15 point, and they're treating it like it's a match point, and that's huge for them. This is great. They're waiting for their just right ball, and then it's going to be a quick little drive or something he can spot. Maybe something gets overhit. That's not it. So he lobs again. In. Lets it go. Well played.
Good move there. Smart. And again, if everyone's out there watching, all our players, you notice that Ostojic did a great job, Christian did a great job of, alerting
Calling
Drew
out
Broderick
the blitz.
that they're blitzing. And the only way that works is, by Tomas watching the other team and not looking at Drew hitting the overhead.
That's right.
I tell everyone, hoping and praying doesn't work.
That's right. Such a crucial thing when you're the player not hitting the ball.
It's so hard not to watch.
Oh, there's some good fortune as he's right there for the volley, but it clips the top of the net. Slugs him.
Yeah, that was 30 all. It's 40-30. Was it? Yeah.
All right, so it's 40-30. I don't know. This is what. See, we missed that first point, whether there was a tip ball or not a tip ball. It wasn't tipped. So now we're at 40-30, and this is what we're dealing with kind of throughout. And you guys got to bear with us as we work through that.
I'm just glad we have 4 honest guys out there.
Yes.
And they're paying attention to what's going on.
That's good. Yeah, so that's good. And no arguments, and that's just a little off-pace overhead, gets him reaching. Shocking way for that to end, but 5-4 now. And Gregurovic has shown a really good resiliency and ability to play this style. They've done a great job with it so far. Do they got one more on them here? Incredible comeback from Love 40 in the game before, which was a huge moment in the match.
I mean, just think this could have been 5-4 Broderick Christian.
Absolutely. And in many ways, you'd have to think it should have been.
Yeah.
It was a shocking way that game ended when they were up Love 40, just with 4 errors kind of quickly coming.
Tell you hear the crowd of 5 people out enduring the weather. They're really getting into it.
Whoever gets whoever's just out there watching, you get a Purple Heart. You get something.
A gold star.
Valor, Medal of Valor. We got people in the shop.
We got 2-time junior national champion Vincent Broderick in the house.
Vincent Broderick in the house. They're all here.
I'm sure win or lose, he's going to have some suggestions for his father at the end of the match.
Perfect. Yeah, see, this is where it gets hard, where you want to serve it out, and you got to wait on each one of these things, and you got to maintain the same structure mentally the whole way through.
And the thing is, I mean, it's if we compare it, it's almost like when you watch Animal Planet and you see like a snake wrap itself around its prey. Yep. Like this is only getting tighter.
Yep.
It's not getting looser.
Yeah, it's tricky. There are those who have tried the strategy
Gregurovic
of baiting.
and Ostojic could escape it,
but
it's going to take a lot of work and patience, and they got to stay calm.
There have been teams, and it's been rare, that have been patient enough even your brother has a shot clock. Even Drew Broderick has a shot clock to a degree. There have been teams who have, like,
That's a great volley.
pushed. It's a fantastic volley. It's not a bad shot at all. It's just well read, too. And that's part of the trick of it. He actually thought it was coming. So great job and amazing hands. And these guys have amazing hands. This is the kind of thing, too, where, like, oh, that's just so good.
And I think a lot of that was set up by the potential drive opportunity off the serve, and Tomas chose to lob that ball up and throw it up to live another, see another day.
Good lob down the line. Broderick sneaking in the middle. Yeah, he'll use that play a lot. That's the one right there, the dumping ball that's super slow, baiting him to drive.
Right.
They could use it more. The problem is it doesn't apply anything, but they're really not doing anything with the overhead that applies anything anyway. So,
if you're not getting hurt with it, it's not a bad thing.
No, I think it actually baits him to go for more.
Right.
And it's not necessarily bad. You want him to go for more.
We see there where they hit one too short. Now you see the ability of Christian to really drop the hammer on that forehand.
Yeah, he was hoping it went out, but it was a great shot. They're switching the backcourt here, a little Ostojic and Gregurovic, and that kind of puts the forehand-backhand in the middle. The Gregurovic backhand much stronger than the Ostojic backhand. This kind of changes the offense in the center of the court much more now.
And this is
they can do it both ways.
Traditionally, what we're used to seeing from Gregurovic and Ostojic. They normally have Tommy over on the forehand, Tins over on the backhand side, and so far in this first set, they're starting out returning from different sides.
Oh, it's a good look. He's kind of fading away.
Yeah,
fading back and away. Takes the strike. All right, so here we are. This is exactly what we were talking about. It's 15:30. They got to close this out. And that miss kind of becomes magnified. Drop shot time. You're right at the crease. Drop shot time. Misses it. Gets it just up enough.
He must think Drew's getting faster.
Yeah, maybe. Two crossed at the crease, and now it's double break point. And the light at the end of the tunnel. It's closing.
There's a lot of break points Broderick Christian have had.
Yes, this is another one. And they've held them all. They just push it in the box. They know Drew Broderick's not likely to return it hard.
And which is smart play because earlier on, I think in one of the earlier games, he had hard serve and faulted it at deuce point. And it's again, you got to play the risk-reward game at this level. Like going for a big serve's not going to get him anything different than getting it in.
Just pushing it in the box, literally going like tapping it in. He's not going to hit it anyway. This has been the big moments here. Like they were able to hold from Love 40 down in the game before. Drop shot. Drop shot meter goes up. It's good for him, but Christian, quick. Oh. Little miscommunication, which also happens after 100 balls. And a lot of this, I think the race to the 4-1, a lot of it was predicated on the drop shot. And they've just had these weird moments where they were able to, in the big moments, like that 4 lost points. They're doing exactly what they want, Christian and Broderick. They just had a couple of glitches. The drop shot meter is good there. He gets it. It's not even a good drop, but he still wants it. Because at least action happens.
You want the drive coming back at you.
Right, the action happens.
Right, I think if you're Gregurovic or Stojic, you want the drive. You don't want the lob.
Right. Oh, he's got a little off balance. All right, tough. Ooh. And Tomas Christian is, I think, in the game right now today. And there it is, the perfect look. He hits the push to the wrong place, and it's so frustrating to the one, the biggest real weapon.
Shot.
Yeah, one bad shot out of 100. Right. And you want the push not there, but it happened because of a little confusion on the overheads. So now he's actually facing the wrong way. He's got nowhere to hit that overhead. And here we go, 5-all. And this is where the break or the crack point for Gregurovic and Ostojic, kind of, to me, it's here.
Right, they can't let that last game affect this one.
Right, they got to go right back to it, and they got to.
They kind of have to have a short memory.
Yeah, and he's already driving 2 or 3 here, and it's a question of whether they can hang in there long enough to do this. What I was getting to, though, is there a player on the tour that you think matches or is able to do this better than Tomas Christian for your brother, for Drew Broderick?
No,
it's not simple. I've played against
we've
and
seen
with
Drew
your
play with
brother
a lot
many
of different
times,
peoples
and I found it
players.
was very difficult for
Yeah.
me. You know,
especially if that's not the way you're used to playing.
and not even that. It's even more than that because because Christian's got to be ready to do whatever he just did after 150
Right.
balls,
At a
not-
blink
and
of the
hitting
eye.
very few of them.
Right.
You know,
Like you're
and
not,
that's
they're
very
not
hard.
planning for that.
So I'm used to getting ready to move or hitting a shot, but you really are standing still, you know,
Right.
for like half the time, and
Yeah.
then you have to be ready on a blink.
Almost
this
like you
is-
get the opportunity, you got to be ready to pounce.
Correct, and it's not a simple thing. There is no one better that your brother could play with on the tour than Tomas Christian. He's like the Swiss Army knife of players. He really could play with a lot of different partners and different styles. And now you can see this is where we're losing it. They're starting to miss these little off-pace drives, and everyone you miss, it's like 3 misses.
Right.
To get it back, you got to hit 100 balls.
Right.
You know, but do you never hit it? That times it's a great drive. A little poach there. And now they're right back to it, but now it's 100 overheads. Just keep baiting, control, hang in there.
And again, I think if you're Broderick and Christian, you're fine with this because you've had many break opportunities in the last couple of games, and you know you don't mind being at the baseline.
Well, what's funny is, like, in many ways, it's a machine-like style, you know, and a system that is like, it's like a metronome, or we tell Novocaine, whatever you want to use. You know, it's just one, another, right? And yet within this set, we've even seen the blips, though, from Drew Broderick. Like the one game they have at
Right.
Love 40, he misses 4 quick ones off his battle.
Right.
Trying to go for shots, right? When when it should be probably a little bit more the other way around. So everybody's human, and the mental area. This is just it's shifted into a total different area. These types of matches. It's really a mental battle. It's less about the shots.
So what you're saying is even once in a while, the dentist gets a whiff of the
Yeah,
Novocaine.
absolutely right. Yeah, it happens to him too. He's got too much of the gas.
You don't seal the mask on that tight. A little bit slips.
Well, he just
What a
amazing
get.
dig, and he gets offense on it. Oh, he's just going hard. It's actually a good time for that, but so good from Christian. Can he?
He got it! Oh my God! What a
He
get!
can! That's insane.
What a get by
Flattens his
Gregurovic!
paddle, changes his grip. That was awesome. Oh, he's going for it, and just perfect position volleys from Christian. Fake blitz.
Brad again turning into an amazing day of paddle here at the Short Hills Invitational, 74th running of the Short Hills Invitational. In the men's quarterfinal action here.
Absolutely. It's a great weekend of sports. Got the Super Bowl tomorrow. We got the Olympics going on. So, you know, you get your fill here. You hunker down. You watch a little downhill racing. Maybe some snowcross. I was watching.
You tune back into us and
I
watch
watched-
a little uphill racing.
There you go. I watched the curling match where the U.S. beat.
Yeah, they won all their
yes.
games, right? They won
and
every
they beat
game.
undefeated Canada. It was,
Yeah.
I was watching. I was going, hey, they got courts in Brookline. I wonder if those guys are from Brookline. Yeah, one of the clubs up in Massachusetts.
I saw they had the other day. Jason Kelsey was out doing a little curling,
Throwing a rock?
He wasn't-
Sliding a rock?
Yeah, he was, and his wife. Yeah, they They weren't part of the team, were they? That won undefeated?
No, Jason Kelsey's not that level. Not that Olympic curling level. But we're right back at it here. Transition easily, a perfect lob, and they don't even bother to hit it. And there you go, Christian, making, he's ready to go at a moment's notice. And as soon as they hit it over to him, he's ready to pop it.
Yeah.
But he's doing it surprisingly. He's still lobbing the balance of the balls, and then it's like a one-timer.
And like we said earlier
that's
on,
exactly
that makes it
how
tough,
they want to
right?
do it. That's exactly
like you're not
how
expecting
it should be.
it.
Correct.
Like you watch and you have a lot of players that bring a lot of offense, hit a lot, but sometimes it gets a little too predictable. Like they're right there, like they're ready for a drive, and whether Drew had ideas of driving that ball or not, he goes and decides to lob it, and now they're back at the net.
Oh man, this is going on 100 balls for sure, probably more at this point. And that's going to go wide, and it's the fist pump after a couple of 100 balls. And what was wasted in the middle is that phenomenal get by Gregurovic, in the middle of that. 40-15 for a 6-5 lead.
And we hear the crowd starting to get involved in it here.
We're up 1-love in this match, and then down 4-1.
If they could hold on to this could be their second lead of the match.
Oh, it's right here. And it's been amazing fortitude, but you can see the cracks starting to show a little bit, right? From Gregurovic and Ostojic, and that's a great move back, but it's like a 3/4 drive, which you would think you would pick up.
By Gregurovic playing that off the leg cord.
Yep, terrific shot, and he said he lost in the lights, I think. Yeah, because it is getting dark out here. It just happens when you play 200 ball points. Sun goes away. Oh, Dinkin blitz. Doesn't really have it. Very handled easily. But they're going to start looking to press, and that's a good move. That's a press from Christian. Now, he makes that move very well. But in this case, the look is so good that he just can't get it. It's just a great look. He's trying.
And the ball's a little bit too wide.
Yeah, it's a perfect play. All right, sudden death point here. Massive. And, of course, we know in the men's game nowadays, the sudden death point takes such a big part of it.
And it plays a big effect on the outcomes.
Yeah, absolutely does.
We haven't had many deuce points here.
This is our second, I believe. We had the ace before. Yep. No, we had 3. And the comeback from Love 40. So we've had, that's a reasonable amount. Yeah, we've had a few. And both the others were won by Gregurovic and Ostojic. So this is like basically their set's getting won on this set pointer. That's a good overhead.
It's a really good get. Oh,
he's going to stay back smartly. He does wisely on that one. They're going to win this from the back or try to. I think baiting, trying to bait Drew might not be a bad play here, Drew Broderick. I'd watch out for baiting the forehand of, good Christian, cover. Yeah, I'd watch out for that. If you have the mental fortitude to say, go ahead, and that's the one. They wanted him to win it on his paddle. And you hear the big crowd play. Now, again, is that something he shouldn't hit, Dave?
No, that's the right shot.
It's the right shot.
Wants that.
But for me, it's also right for Gregurovic and Ostojic because I actually want your brother Drew to have to be the one to finish it on his paddle. So in all ways, it's kind of what Broderick's looking for. It's kind of what Gregurovic and Ostojic are looking for, and that's what we're looking for. Somebody's getting to the end of the tunnel here. It's 6-5 now. One more game. You can hear Gregurovic. One more, baby. Let's go. He forgets there's 2 more sets or one more at least after this. But here we go. Just one more for this set. But he's right, though, in the sense, like, get this first set done, and it's a reset. Let's go. Now you can kind of calm your mind back down. If they lose this set after being up 4-1, right, giving up the lead, there's something about it that kind of compounds in the style of play that Broderick and Christian just wears on you. All right, miss from Christian there.
Again, they don't want a fast game here.
They do not.
Longer points.
They do not want a fast game. I don't think they want any fast game.
Right.
Right, any of them. If there are fast games, for me, I know, and I think you believe the same, that it's going to work in the favor of Gregurovic and Ostojic, the faster the games go. And there's a level, though, where even the team that uses this strategy can get off it, right? You know, or get drawn into driving more. Christian right now has driven more in these last, you know, 20, 30 balls than he had in many
Previous
before.
couple games.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a great pick and drive. Get some good fortune there. Yeah, that is one of the things that your brother's been able to do so well. What a get there. He's got the blitz. Look. Nice move.
Oh, gets
Some action now. Dink and blitz. Oh, perfectly
what a
done
move.
from Gregurovic. Holy cow. Look at this. The blitz back. You see Ostojic gets it. He makes a nice little drive. Look at this. Drive, dink, and blitz. Gorgeous. He thinks he can sneak it around him, and he's got the fist pump. 30 love. Let's go. This is where, if I'm Broderick and Christian, 200 balls here.
yeah.
You know, to play the strategy they need to. Make these guys win the point. Yeah, dump it. I love the dump. Great soft hands.
Tell you, Brad, we do have a couple of brave fans out there watching the action. They want to hear the sounds of the match.
They want to hear the sound of the match, and of course, your brother's just a huge draw. You know, he's been a staple in the game. He's still competing at a super high level, you know, and he's going into the Hall of Fame, and he's meant so much to New Jersey paddle. He's been at the Gregurovic Club, so there's plenty of fans all over the place here, you know, rooting for the Jersey team. You know, I mean, Christian just left Jersey, but he's a Jersey boy. You know, he was here for many years. Tweener!
Oh, yeah.
Yes! Gregurovic and Ostojic pulling out all the stops. Oh, man. He slap shots that. Oh, one too many. You got to be kidding me. Oh, my God. He was going hard at the body there. He missed his target. But here we go. He's getting nutty out there. I tell you, the style, it can make you nutty, too.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Tell you what, if you're Gregurovic or Stojic, the last thing you want to do is start talking to the crowd.
All right, here we go. 40-15 on a missed
Set
lob.
point here.
Triple set point. I love it. He's going to baiting shot. I love that choice. I'd do 10 more of those. Bait him. That one he's got.
He wanted that one back last game.
That one he's got. No, look. A lot of these have been good looks. This is exactly how it is. He thumps that one. It's a great look. All right, one set point saved. This is going to wait for the wind. There's a huge gust. We've seen a number of players back off their serve today. He's just going to push it in the box, but he's still going to wait. You can see his,
Yeah, look at how
shirt
the
tails,
shirt, yeah.
you know, whistling in there. It is crazy windy out there, and the gusts do come heavy. He's just going to push it in. And Broderick hits the return that time, but still not heavy like he's going to force the air. He's just going to make him volley.
And from talking to a lot of players, it's not even that the wind is strong. It's just it's inconsistent.
It goes from
It's
side to
swirling,
swirling
it's
a little.
changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, they're going back. He's got the. Oh, that's good waterfall action right in the crease. He's there. Backhand drive. They're going to get a look here. No, it's too deep. Hit. Quick lob. You know, even with the scoring system the way it is, this set, you know, with the 3 no-ad games, Actually, 4 no-ad games, I believe. That's great. 2 points, and we are here. This is set point, break point. So right now, Gregurovic and Ostojic have been able to get these games. They've won all the no-ad games so far.
Brad, I don't know about you, but I'm at the edge of my seat.
I'm also right at the edge. Great help goal, but he doesn't take the help, surprisingly. They're going hard. That's the ball he's going to hit. Half volley pickup.
Oh, my God.
Beautiful control. He's going hard again. He's trying to bait him into that hard shot. Again,
I think they're going the other way. Instead of using the drop shot, they're going with the hard ball to create that space.
Yeah, I don't mind it. You know.
No, again, they're creating up and back movement.
Yep.
And that seemed to be working early on.
What a finish there from Ostojic off the off-pace drive. What a way to end it. Wow. Let's see this. We got a replay here. There it is. Game in first set for Gregurovic Ostojic, 7-5. All right, we'll be right back in just a moment after these messages right here on the APTA YouTube channel with live streaming by Joho and match statistics provided by Court Director.
At Corient, wealth management begins and ends with you. We believe the more personal the solution, the more powerful the result. We treat your goals as our own. We never lose focus on the life you want to build. And our experienced advisors design custom-built strategies to help you get there. It's time for a wealth management experience as sophisticated as you are. It's time for Corient.
You're up.
Welcome back to the APTA Tour, where Gregurovic and Ostojic, our number 4 seeds, just took the first set 7-5. It was crazy slow at times, been crazy. When you play that style, too, these moments become so much more crucial, Dave. The way that set finished, wild swings in there. A love 40 game lost by Broderick Christian. Let's take a quick look at the court director stats.
No, Broderick Christian, they had opportunities to win that set in there.
Oh, well, look, the biggest set of all, sudden deuce wins. It says only, 6-2. There were 8 sudden deuce games? No. All right, we could have that wrong, but that's still, that is a set's worth of sudden deuce games.
Yeah.
So if that is correct, and it's possible when you also watch and call this style that you completely lose track of all the points that get played because so many of them have a lot of similar qualities to them. But what a crazy end to that. And when you have to say, like, the whole thing, in many ways, much of that set was on the rackets of Broderick and Christian.
Right.
I mean, they had love 40 game.
Right.
But shockingly, those 4 misses there. That one there, crazy good drop shot. Without a doubt,
that
the
set
off
point was
pace,
pretty sick.
Oh, it was crazy. And a couple of points before that, were sick to get it to, that's a little wide. But without
the off-pace drive
is
not
hurting
working
them.
for Broderick.
It's hurting them,
Christian.
right? Not helping them. They lost on that. The other guys, their hands are too good. The drop shot, whether it's a good drop shot or a bad shot, it works for them.
I think Ostojic, Gregurovic are way better off with the.
Oh, did he get that?
He did. That's
around
amazing.
the post,
get around the post,
flick.
half volley off the deck.
Oh, that's crazy. We're talking about the match. That's a crazy shot. I'd love to see a replay of that if we could possibly get that, Nick. But I'm not sure we can capture that. But either way, what a play.
We would have, starting out, we definitely didn't talk about, the control of this set match was in the hands of Broderick Christian. And they really had it in their hand in that set.
Oh, no. When they got it, it was 4-1 down, and then they started getting the mojo working a little bit. And when they took the drop shot off the table at that 4-1 time, and they couldn't get it. And then they lost a way to win as many points. And when that happens, you start to lose more points in other ways because you force one or you do something different, right? So at that moment, they had the stuff working in their direction. But from that, and then I have to say, Gregurovic and Ostojic, they never broke. right? But weirdly, I think still Broderick
They
and
bent a
Christian
lot,
had it. No,
but
they
they
bent
never
a lot.
broke.
They never broke. But it's going to be interesting to say, and I'm curious about, in the weird moments of that Love 40 game, that was the biggest break there was when your brother missed those 4
Right.
balls. That was the biggest break in terms of like getting off the script of the strategy
Right.
that you want to use. And I can say only on two of those balls I think were good hittable. 2 of them I think were bad hittable, right? But
And again, we talked about, even though it's Love 40, when that's the style of game that you play, you can't afford to miss the balls that
Correct.
you can't miss.
You're right, yes. All right, but anyway, incredible set with a ton of drama, and that was a big, big win, I think, for Gregurovic and Ostojic. It's a tough matchup for them. They want to play a different style. They're finding some success with the dink in the blitz now, and great coverage there that time. So that I was about to say that when he did it again there, and it's going to be important, I think, for Christian and Broderick to fill that gap a little bit. The dink and blitz hurt him at the end. The drop shot hurt him at the beginning. The dink and blitz hurt him at the end. So it's fascinating. They're trying to find ways to both these teams just win the points. Get in there.
And just for the record, the wind is picking up here.
That's right. Andrew's preaching. It's not the cold, it's the wind. Sing it. That's it. Now, let me see your, actually, he's coming in. He actually has a beverage here. Is it frozen? It's a frozen beer. Yeah, it's a frozen beer. That's how cold it is out there. But that wasn't the cold. That was the wind doing that. I got you. Here you go. Okay, yeah.
Well, with the wind, it feels colder.
Does the sarcasm come over the airwaves? Or the wind, it is colder. All right, so back at it here. I think that was just long.
No, I think that was inside. That was.
Well, hold on. I think he
changed the
called it
call.
long. Let's see. Changed it?
He changed the call.
Okay. Great shot. Yeah, and your brother does.
He knew our umpire, Alina Nix, is watching from up above.
Already,
she was going to overrule that. She was going to run out there.
Storming down to the court. There's the drop shot meter working. And that, but he pushes it wide, tries to go behind him. He could have just gone at him.
Yeah.
All right, so double break point here. And, the mental energy of winning that first set is unique in the sense that it took so much for Gregurovic and Ostojic to actually keep that composure and get to that finish line. There's got to be a little bit of a mental letdown. This, to me, for Broderick and Christian, they're just going back to business, right? They lost, but back to business, right?
Listen, their theory is 5 hours is 5 hours.
That's right.
Whether it's 2 sets or 3 sets, it's still 5 hours.
Right.
It's still a million balls. And, I think as much as Ostojic Gregurovic win that set, again, you still have to think about their thought process has to be, we have to do all that just to win 7-5. What are we going to have to do to win this next set? Yeah,
the one thing that's good about them
they only have to win one more.
Right, so whether they lose this or not, they can save some reserves mentally for the third if this gets out of hand.
Right.
Or they somehow lose track of this match. They're doing a great job here. This is 6 drops in this 1 point and then another slow overhead. I love the pace they're working. This is going to get I thought he would try to drive it. Good thing he didn't, actually. He was smart not to. Drop again. And that finally, so they get a point where they get 7 drops.
The Ostojic drop shot's been a big impact in the last couple of points.
No, it's been a massive. The whole drop shot has been, their primary weapon. They're starting to get some dink and blitz. The return is a non-factor on both sides.
Right.
Nobody's hitting the return for, a shot. The cut overhead, a non-factor, right? So it's really just a waiting game till you get these types of balls. Otherwise, it's a waiting and baiting game. They're actually trying to bait them in there, and they really are staying mostly away from the Christian forehand. There's very rarely are they going in there.
Right.
And Christian, again, does a great job just standing there.
So if
and
you're
waiting.
if you're Broderick Christian and you get a drop shot that hangs a little bit like that one, do you just drop the hammer on one of them? And
What do you mean? Do
you go for a
like
100
try to
mile an
hit
hour
it,
forehand and
drive it right at him?
Something, yeah.
I don't, because I think that's
Their hands
they're
are
gonna
good.
miss it. Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
they're gonna miss it, but it's a tough call. Like, this is good bail for them. But
Only
this,
because you
still
want
they want this.
only because you kind of want to say to them, look, we're not going to let you just keep doing this.
Yeah, but I think if he hits it and misses it, he's not helping himself. You know what I mean?
Right.
Whatever
Yeah.
it is.
Right.
If he actually tags him one time, sure. But I think the more he goes for them, the worse it's going to get. But this is smart. Look, the only thing that's going to stop this from happening, they got a lot better.
Right.
These lobs are terrible.
Right.
They're like standing in the service box.
Right.
Right. They got to get it a little back. A little up and over. Like that's just too short.
Which the first set they
right?
were lobbing very well.
Well, they got there. I mean, they faced a bunch of drops in the first. Now we've seen 45 drops.
Right.
I think for them, though,
The drop meter's like red, overheating.
Yes, it's way overheating now. And even a bad drop is a good play for them.
Right.
Because a bad
It's
drop
creating
just falls,
movement.
but it also falls into the category of baiting, and they want those guys to drive. So it's baiting you. Go ahead, drive it. Go ahead. Like. That's great. Look at that. Fist pump. And again, we're at a sudden death game.
It came off the half speed drive,
Yep.
like the close and the stuff volley.
Yep. And the half-speed drive has been killing them. And is that another no-ad game? Is that another
It
no-ad?
is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man, that's just crazy. It's what a difference. I mean, so many of these points. And the off-pace drive, if you look back at it, oh! So close. For a moment, I thought it actually dribbled on the
Yeah.
other side, but it did not make it over.
Could have been a backbreaker.
I don't think there's no backbreaker here, but he's not going for a lot on the return. Nobody. Dink and blitz. I love these plays, though. The dink and blitz working well. It gives him the apology, but up into the body was a good play on that.
And he didn't hit it really hard.
Nah. That was
Like Drew
medium.
couldn't
It
have
was-
let that go, and it was going out. Like that was a good, well-placed shot.
Yeah, it was beautiful. There's a big return with the blitz following up. We haven't seen too much of that. All right, here we go.
Brad, is it 2-love or 1-1?
I
thought Drew held the first game.
I was kind of thinking the same thing, and as we have so many conversations here and there's so many deuce points, and again, without the ref being down there, this is a good look. They got some great offense. Maybe we can get some audio from the court. And is there any other match still on? I would think Powers and Nunez against might still be going against Ong, but every other match is done. And it's never shocking when your brother's one of the last ones
one
out there. Right? Never shocking. Yeah, the blitzing, just so good up there. Their hands. Come on, he's got that. Heavy roller. I love it. Speeding up the play, and then the waterfall over the top. Good switch and good look from Christian. Go back to a soft drop. Good. Love it. Good choice on the pace. Right in the nick. Drop. He got that one. He got, yes! Arms raised. Window, banging on the window here. Here we go. He got one. Add one in the Broderick column. You drop. Nobody drops shots to me 852 times.
And gets away
You're
with
right,
it.
and gets away with it. I'll show you. That was one too many. That was a great shot, though, and actually, like you said, though, if he can show him a little bit more of those, and that
Right,
was a
can you
that
take
was
it
a
away a
perfect
little bit?
storm. Yeah, sorry, that was a little higher, right to his backhand. He loves that shot. Again, that cutter, he's trying it, and that could have been a good shot in other weather.
Right,
it just
but-
sits here
Right.
today.
Today, again, it's
Yes.
just for movement,
Yep.
maybe create an opening, but it's not going to end the point tonight. Not tonight.
In many ways, I think it'll actually ultimately lead to more offense for the other team
Right.
because it sort of sits up. It doesn't really even go left or right.
Right.
It just kind of spins and sits.
Like normally you get away with it because you don't know if the ball's going to go left or it's going to go right. Where
it's going to do a little something,
up,
right? You're not sure how much
it's going to do a little dance, make a little love.
There you go.
Get down tonight.
It's getting down tonight. There you go. Dave, that was well played, I have to say.
We didn't even rehearse that.
No. God, no. I think if we did, it might have been a little better.
I would have been a little bit more in tune and rhythm.
There you go. Hey, you got Macy Elliott up and dancing.
There you go.
For a brief moment. Yeah, I love the dink and blitz play because the slow play stuff works both ways. Drop shot back. Yeah, the slow play stuff works both ways. It's hard for the other team when they're playing it slow to also get used to closing in all the time.
And I'll tell you, one of the things we said a long time ago was, you know, how is mentally Gregurovic or Ostojic going to, how are they going to deal with this? And so far, they're playing great.
They've been doing amazing.
They're playing really well. They're staying within themselves. They're not getting too high. They're not getting too low. They're kind of staying even.
They've had enough light at the end of the tunnel, too. Like, there was never that spot. There was a moment, you know, when
there was
he
a moment
went for
when
that
the
ball
train was almost going to run them over.
Yes, correct. And he slammed the ball, and, you know, I'm still going to go back to that turning point is that Love 40 game.
Yeah.
That Love 40 game was the moment that
when
they were making the move.
When the patient team got a little impatient.
Yeah.
My brain's frozen, Karen.
We have a frozen brain out on the court.
All right, so brand new ball.
Which may not bode well for the Gregurovic Ostojic drop shot. Could be a little hot, lively.
You're absolutely right. I was gonna, I brought this up in the women's quarterfinal round match. You know, when it was O'Sullivan and Sarich against Halbauer and Zabori, and the new ball came out, and it's warm, and it definitely favors Zabori and Halbauer hitting crushing returns.
Right.
You know, and then the ball's going to slowly. These balls aren't staying warm. They're going to get colder and colder as the games go on. When the seventh game, it's a totally different ball than the one they take out, and so the drop shot's going to get better and better.
Like there, you see that drop shot probably hung up a little bit.
Yep, it's going to get better and better as time goes on. So it's still a good play for him, but you're making a great point. This is and you know, it's weird to think that way, but you know, it's taking in all the details makes all the difference. There's a good look. He's got that one. Can he track it down? Not today. Not in this cold weather. And a great look from Drew Broderick. That's a vintage backhand. He has that shot.
And he kind of hits it to a spot where you don't expect it's coming, or where it's not supposed to go.
Yeah, no, he's always been great at picking away with his backhand, like especially his backhand. His backhand, he just kind of moves to the center and he picks a spot just off your right ear, just off your left. None of them are like howitzers, but he's getting another weaker ball, and he can force the errors with it. You know,
I'll tell you, especially, you know, with Drew's lobs, I'd love to see him play some of these more to give Christian a look for the big forehand that we saw in the first set a couple times.
Yeah.
Like I would, you know, they've got to figure out a way, how can they get that ball going from the left side of the court right now on your screen across the Christian's forehand like we see right there. Gives him a look, and again, you know, they got it back and whatever, but again, every good shot puts pressure on the other team, and it makes you think a little bit.
Yeah, you know, it's a great point. I'm just not sure what that answer is, because when they think their best play is just to dump it there, you know, like
it's hard to switch
it. Why would they switch it?
Why switch it?
They've only gotten in trouble switching it, so why would they ever do it? You know, like, and there's not enough going on for Christian to start making a move to the center of the court to look for the forehand. That would make it 10 times worse, because he'd be looking, not getting it, looking, not getting it, and then when he got it, he'd be antsy. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. It's just, I'm not sure how they're going to get what you're looking for, right? Because they're not. There's no way they're going to force him to do it. When that's their best play, right there, just dumped it to his forehand.
Yeah, can't miss that long.
You say he can't?
Yeah, I see. You can't not at
miss
that. You can't do that.
No, right. No, but that's really what it comes down to, right? You know. And you can't hit that in the net, right? There you go. But the problem with that one, too, is he's sort of fading away from it. Once they hit it low.
And we talked about it earlier on. You know, there are some players out there that they can afford to miss a lob long because they're
going to get more points on the other side of it.
Points. Where with Drew and Tomas, they're more methodical. They're going to think points out. They're going to use movement like that. They're going to use pinpoint precision right there.
That's going to do it. That's a bad dink blitz there. That's a great shot.
Right. So on just a pedestrian ball, routine ball, they can't miss it.
I agree with you. And really what it amounts to is the strategy that they use works for them and against them. Meaning they can't get back quickly either. They don't get them back quickly either. So they got to also – so when they lose them quickly, they got to spend just the same amount of time, you know, getting them the other direction. So it's tricky. I'm curious if we can get a match time from producer Nick. Do we have a match time? Hour 40 minutes? Okay. Well, it's, you know.
Good thing we're using no ad scoring.
No, it's a good point. You know, because imagine if we weren't, right? And we've had, according to the court director, there were 8
points
no ad
that
games
were no ad scoring,
in the first games. So, and we've had already one in this game.
We could still be at 3-all in the first set.
Correct. That's the whole point, and that's the whole design of the system. When there were 2 over 5-hour matches played last year, I do think it actually does negatively affect the players who play this style. The longer point you play, because you can't, because this could still be 3-all in the first set. And if this is 3-all in the first set, this is exactly what Drew Broderick wants. Right? You know, because who's going to do that, right? He's starting to make his shots now, and if he does, that'll be a big difference too. Now, but the no ad, it just stops it. You can only do this for 8 total points a game, and then it has to end, right? Or and the 8th point is going to end. Whereas theoretically, it's infinite amount of times in another game, so you can get the matches over 5 hours. There's no way, even though this is about as slow as it can be. We're not going to get to where there's an end point. We're not going to. Yes.
There is a shot clock. Ultimately,
I think we could get to over 3 hours. Well, we could easily get to 4 hours here if they take this set, you know. But I don't think we're getting to 5. It would be curious if we do. However, if there's someone who could do it,
Brad, I'm going to be honest.
I think you really can do it.
I'm not looking to be a part of that.
Yeah. I love my brother, but
you know, I don't want to tell all my friends tomorrow. Hey, do you know that Brad and I were the first announcers to announce a 5-hour no ad scoring match?
Well, that'll just be on par for me, having called both of the 5-hour matches last year.
There's a lot of goals I have in life. That's not one of them right now.
You say right now as if it could be in the future.
Maybe. There we go.
Your life will have taken a turn if that's the case. All right, beautiful shot. And your brother came through with a couple of huge offensive balls there. And if he starts heating up the offense,
that down the line, inside out backhand.
Yep. I see Rob Scanoni in the back there. He's one of the guys.
Did he just say it's 3-1?
I think he did say 3-1. All right.
Rob Scanone, as you said, the NJMPTA president, the tournament coordinated director in charge of the Nationals this year. Again, March 6th to 8th at Canubrook. I'm going to be there on March 5th because now, Brad, you said I have to do a speech.
Oh, absolutely. It's not just me who's saying it. Everybody's saying it.
You're speaking for the people?
I'm speaking for the people, Dave, as I normally do.
And you know I'm willing to give the people what they want.
All right, little off-pace drive there. That was a little trickier one.
And I'll tell you, if it happens to be 3-1 Broderick Christian right now, I like the body language of Gregurovic or Ostojic. They're not getting too excited. They're staying within the moment. I like where they're at.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, let's get a definitive on that. Let's see if we can send somebody out there to get the definitive score here, because it is hard with the line calls, and the audio not quite get from the court.
You got a hit. You. Me.
That's a great volley from Christian. Sticks the paddle out, stuffs it behind.
Help. You help.
Brad, do you find, let's call it 10 years later, that how many points do you think, or shots, points 10 years ago ended that they still now go on? Meaning, 10 years ago, that point would have ended 5 winners ago, where now it's like you kind of have to win the point a lot more. There's a lot more great gets. There's a lot more athleticism.
I think it's two sides of the coin. I think there are more finishing shots now, but there are also more great gets and more athleticism. So I think it works both ways, which is why I think, ultimately the score system did change, because the ability to kind of, if you make that full decision to not miss, you really can. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, you really can.
Right.
And
there's no wiggle room.
And most people who play the game prefer or only have the ability, even mentally, to say, most people have the mindset of, I'm going to try to win points, not lose points. And then everybody, even those people who try to win points and not lose them, still realize there's a certain point where I'm not going to lose this point. But on balance for the rest of the match, they're trying. And they'll bring that in there every now and then. But if your mindset is, I'm never going to lose a point, then it's hard to stop it, but there's more finishing shots than there used to be, and there's more pressure rollers, there's more other things, but still, ultimately, it's not that simple, And that's just a great exchange.
Another deuce game.
Yep, and here we are again on the deuce games. Yeah, so it is 3-1 Broderick and Christian. And
chance to go up 4-1.
Yes, for 4-1, and here it is.
They're dominating the.
So this is it. It's 3-1 Broderick Christian, and another sudden death game. And again, imagine if we didn't have these sudden death games, right?
You.
Oh, and he goes inside out volley, tries to hit it behind him. All right.
So I think it's
All right.
30,
so what do we
40?
got? Let's see if we got a score here. All right.
Brad, when they switch sides, I know it's going to be either 4-1 or 3-2.
Dave, I'm with you. The great thing about this for Gregurovic and Ostojic is they're hanging around waiting for their opportunity, but I don't feel like they're spending energy.
Right.
Like mental or physical.
Right.
Like they're hanging around, I think, and seeing if they can get into this. But I don't think they're going to, if it gets away from them, maybe even on this game, I don't think they're going to waste their time trying to get it back.
Right.
Maybe they will. I'm not sure.
See, again, there's the half-speed drive.
Great shot.
That got them in trouble.
It did.
They stuffed it.
No, it's been consistently working against them. And in the game before where they took the 3-1 lead.
I guess 2 more games. Because we started the set with it.
All right, so it's 2 serving 3. Gregurovic, Ostojic.
All right.
2 serving 3.
Yep, 2 serving 3. And here we go. And that was a huge game for them. I feel like that might have been sort of a marker point for them. They're hanging around if they can get into it. Now they're a little into it. All right, let's get this game. But we're not going to kill ourselves. We're going to wait for the right moment to strike. And it's all been that. I feel like this match has been, it's like this back and forth pace. Try not to break. Nobody's trying not to break. And then you get to this one moment where you just get another sudden.
Well, it's funny because we talked about not too long ago that, Gregurovic or Ostojic are letting Broderick and Christian hang around. Now we're going the other way, where it's like Broderick and Christian are letting Gregurovic and Ostojic hang around.
Yeah, you know,
like they could have created some separation there.
Well,
like real separation.
Yeah, one of the things that was that's a great lob. And your brother is really starting to hit his backhand now. He's starting to look for it and making it. And he's forcing an error there. And that's great. And he hit 2 or 3 winners a couple of games ago. Okay, Gregurovic and Ostojic are Croatian. They speak fluent Croatian. So I'm not sure what they're talking
but
about
I'm guessing
there.
They're not happy with each other right now.
They did not seem to be. They've also played a lot of tennis and paddle together, of course.
If I were to guess, they're not seeing eye to eye right now.
Yeah, maybe. I'm going to go yes, Dave. That's a big look. What a volley. You know, it was impossible for Christian because, you don't know. Christian doesn't know.
Who hit it?
And, again, that's a great shot, and I have zero problem with him hitting it. It's a fantastic volley, so just beautiful. I don't know who hit it. I'm thinking Ostojic hit it.
I do, too.
Yeah, he kind of flicked it with his forehand on that one. All right, 30-15.
Yeah.
But I still think that's a good drive, though, Dave. You don't think that's a
No,
bad
absolutely.
choice, right?
No,
You know,
no.
you want that.
Yeah.
Like, you got to force a few.
I mean, how many
errors.
times are they going to hit a volley winner off that shot when both guys go for the ball?
Right. So, you know, what we're talking about isn't their strategy based on never hitting the ball. It's just hitting the ball that they want to hit at the right time.
When they want to hit it.
Yeah, and it just requires that they do a lot of lobbing to get it, really, more than anything else, because they're not hitters from anywhere. Christian can do probably a little more of that. You know, Broderick very methodical with what he wants to hit. Like,
I'm going to be honest. Like, it's almost like, quite honestly, they're kind of icing Christian out of the match.
Oh, they are. They're 100% icing Christian out of the match, and they want him. They want They want Drew Broderick to have to win it on his paddle. They want him. And if
Brad, I already won it. I'm inside. I'm sitting in the
You're a winner, Dave.
I'm in the warm. I already won.
A winner.
I won.
Hey, do a little dance. But they're
kind of like not letting him get involved.
No, because the biggest weapon on the court is the Christian forehand.
Yeah.
You know, and so they're trying to take it out of play. And the honest truth is, they've got a nice rhythm in what they're doing here. It's nothing surprising. When they were switching the play over there, it was worse for them.
Right.
If they're going to do it, they'd have to go 10, 15 balls. And I actually think this is the right way to go because even Drew Broderick has a shot clock. And if the biggest weapon on the court is over there,
don't hit it
there, right? You know, like just don't. And whether you got to wait 100 balls or not, wait 100 balls.
It's like, Brad, when the men and women come and tell you, oh, my God, that person stood so close to the net. What an amazing drop shot they had. Why hit it at them? Why hit it to them? I mean, come on.
You could use a lot. Right.
You know, I'm not that smart, Brad, and I can figure that out. That, listen, if they're on top of the net, why are we driving the ball at them?
Well, they're going at Christian a little now, and they catch him a little there. I mean, it's probably smart because everybody's got a break point, right? You know, they're going to drive, or they're going to get a little flat-footed, or they're going to get something like that. All right, so 40-15.
Yeah.
Great hands, and they do such a good job. You see how Gregurovic doesn't bother coming back in. He's going to let Ostojic get on the net and take any volley he wants, and he's not getting closer because he wants to make sure that if it goes by him,
I'll tell you
there's coverage. So smart.
One thing that is from an
he misses the easy transition
from an
ball.
athletic, from a viewer standpoint, like just the thought process of the game nowadays is just enjoyable to watch. And what I mean by that is, you know, how many times, like, does the baseline player guess right and drive it down the line and get it by the net team? And how often does then the net team hold their position and they volley the ball? It's such a fine line game of cat and mouse.
Sure.
That it's super enjoyable to watch.
Well, one of the things and one of the decisions out there, and again, he goes off pace drive.
right
But
shot.
I don't actually agree on that one because he's on his heels. I did not see him I like him when he's hitting it forward a little bit.
Right.
I don't like that.
if
Because
he hits it, he's
anything
gotta
is on
aim
his
higher.
heel, sure, but anything on his heels
It's half
invites
speed.
a drop
Half
spot.
speed.
And the half speed is not their friend.
Right, because he's
So
going
I disagree
backwards
with
and the
that.
ball's
I
going in front of him.
disagree.
Right.
It opens up a drop shot. All right, 3-all. Yeah, the hands of Gregurovic and Ostojic, though, have been absolutely fantastic. And this is where they're so smart. Like, again, you're going to see one of them go and do all the work. The other guy's going to wait behind in case something happens.
And I think, again, there's never been a question that they have the skills, best skills out there.
No question. They have amazing skills. Yeah, I'm not sure if they were NCAA doubles champions. I know they were like semifinals, NCAAs. I mean, these guys play high-level racket sports, tennis. Again, the dink and blitz. Wise lob there. Super wise.
Half
Ball's
volley
lower
lob.
than the net.
Half volley lob.
Yeah, but smart, because anytime the ball's lower than the net and you don't have advantage,
They're going to be on top of the net.
There's no reason to get into any type of exchange. It's an exact shot to hit. And we say it like it's hard, but it's easy for these guys. Half volley lob, that was no-brainer for your brother. It's one of the reasons why they're at this level. I thought he had maybe the tomahawk there. He's a little late getting the move in. Good pace they're using on these overheads now. They're just slowing him down enough. That's out. All right. Little danger point here.
And this could be a big swing.
Danger
winning
point
like
here,
3
yeah.
games in a row.
Yep. Well, see, at this point, you would have thought, like, you're waiting for the break, right? For Ostojic and to have that mental break or that thing where they lose 5 points in a
And they're
row
not.
because they're whacked, and it's not
They're not.
happening. And honestly, let's forget this game. All right, well, now they're down 4-3, so they're down, okay? But forget that for a second. If I just tell you that they're not going to break, do you think Broderick and Christian can win the match? Do you think Drew and Tomas can win the match? If they don't break, have that
No.
break point.
No.
See, I'm not sure they can either. So kudos right now to Gregurovic and Ostojic. We'll
The
see.
best thing they're doing
We'll
is they're
see.
staying calm and
Hey,
collected.
They were just down 3-1.
Right.
They're up 4-3.
And there was no.
And they were hanging around just playing, but they knew the
we
other
had that
guys
little
weren't
bit
going
of
to take
we
it
had that
from
little
them.
bit of a tiff between the two of them.
Yes.
But
Maybe
they
that's
moved on.
cleared
They
the air.
moved on
Cleared
between
the air.
that. Right. They
Right.
moved on.
Right. All right. New ball here. Warm. This is the lesser drop shot zone now. The drop shot meter goes a little bit more in the favor of Broderick Christian, but here. Right on the line. Oh, out. Looked like he was going to play it, and he called it. He's going to question it, but there's no one to overrule it. This is just an on-your-honor game. Oh, big drive there. Catches Ostojic moving.
Drew might tell him. I think that may have been in.
I'm sure he did. I don't think he might have told him that.
No, there's no reason. I mean, you know, this has been a
All
good
right,
match
so
so far, and
Gregurovic,
we might have an injury timeout.
he said he's bleeding. Oh, he is bleeding. I'm not sure where that came from or how.
We have to have our chair umpire go out and give the standing 10 count in the corner.
Standing 10.
This could be a TKO.
Wow. How about
Drew
a way
Blood.
to win that one? Drew Blood. Drew
No
Drew
pun
Blood.
intended.
Yeah, Drew Blood. I don't know when he would have done that. Did he just do that? He must have.
It could be from the cold if his
I mean,
hand
Ostojic
cracked
was
or
the one who missed that volley there on the cross. Huh. That is unique.
if his hand split from the cold.
No idea. We're having enough trouble just keeping the score. All right, he's going to have to wipe. Maybe get. It looks like it's also in that kind of spot that there's nowhere to put a good Band-Aid
Right,
or
in
something.
between,
in between
right,
the
in
fingers.
between his fingers, yeah.
It's hard for us to really see, but He may just want to keep a towel off in between the points, so on and so forth. All right, 15 all. Here's Ostojic, after a 3-game run, are up 4-3. Such good hands. I mean, that's a great return, easily handled. All right, he's going for it.
And he's made the last couple.
He started making a few of them for sure. I will say that one was a little more out of the zone, like he's moving a little bit further. Yeah. But it's a good strike, good try, and they may need that. You know, they may need him to actually make a few. But if he's going to miss them, they don't need that, right? So 15-40, 40-15 now for Gregurovic Ostojic, who've just shown incredible composure in this match. And there we go, like we said, biggest weapon on the court for Broderick Christian is that Christian forehand. And he tattoos that one right at their feet. Oh, yeah, that one tougher. All right, because it's not a big weapon. He's just hitting a probing drive. All right, 5-3 now for
This is a big game to hold.
Well, you think so? Yeah, because if they
got to hold. They have to hold.
They must hold this game. That's why you're one of the best in the business, Dave. They must hold here. All right, love 15. And it feels like, if anything,
listen, last night I stayed at, what's the hotel where Captain Obvious is?
Captain Obvious's place, Holiday Inn Express. But the Gregurovic and Ostojic, they haven't broken at this point. And it feels like the energy, though, the fact that they haven't, it feels like the energy's flipped onto their side.
Drew just faulted three times in a row.
Here we are, right on the doorstep. Match point for Gregurovic Ostojic, who's shown, you know, this has been the hardest thing. He's going to dig it out. One more get. And another. They're still alive.
Could that be the turning point?
He can be.
Could it be the turning
still
point?
Alive.
The crowd's going wild.
He got the serve in. He made the get. All right, here we go.
You got to get the serve in to win the point.
You know, it's been a fascinating match in that it's so slow in these hard battles, and then the moments have come quickly. This, to me, was just a flip over, and Gregurovic and Ostojic never broke. And by never breaking, they allowed themselves to stay in there, and then the momentum just shifted. Good call on the help. That's a screen drive. He's got it. Christian going back easily. Yeah, he's going to bait him into the hit. Smart move. Again, the transition play has been a friend to Gregurovic and Ostojic. And the drop shot, and there it is. Game, set, and match for the 4 seeds, Gregurovic and Ostojic. Dave, heck of a match.
No, that was a really good match. You know, I'm a little biased to the outcome.
Yeah, family notwithstanding.
But listen, I have to be honest. You know, I can't be biased in these situations. I thought Gregurovic and Ostojic played one of the better matches that I've seen them play and called. They kind of kept their wits about them, and they kind of hung in there.
To me, this might have been even a turning point for Gregurovic. This is not an easy matchup for them.
No, it could. And I've been thinking about that throughout the match, that this could be like a statement win.
Yeah, down 3-1 in the first set. And they don't break. They hang around. They don't necessarily do anything specific either. But what they don't do is get anxious and start trying to cut
and they don't get
impatient.
Whacking. They never got impatient.
And it's as if they realized that if they didn't do that, they always had a chance. Because the other guys, they're not going to knock you out. Right? You know, Broderick and Christian are going to knock you out. You have to help yourself on the way.
You kind of have to hurt yourself
a little bit. And they stayed the course, and they get through 7-5, 6-3. And to me, you know, we'll see the next time around. But that was a great win for those guys, and they move on into the semifinals. Let's take a last-minute look at the court director's stats here. And let's go on the day. So sudden deuce wins on the day. Broderick and Christian catch up. But we had 12 sudden deuce games. 7-5.
That's a lot.
That's an incredible amount. And we were talking about how long this match would. What's the final total on the match?
I got 2 hours on the screen.
2 hours on the screen. So without those sudden deuce games, we could still be playing easily for another hour minimum. Break points converted, 3 of 18 for Broderick and Christian. You know, that almost tells the tale. It's only 6 of 18 the other way around.
I mean, they didn't set it on fire either.
We have to understand that some of these break points are also break points and game points at the same time. So it's a little, the stats get a little bit skewed in a different way now when you play these no-ad scoring. But terrific match and a terrific tournament. A really fun calling with you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, Brad. Always a pleasure.
All right, so that's a wrap here for men's quarterfinal round action here at the Short Hills Grand Prix. And we'll see everybody tomorrow for semifinals, and switch over, if you're on this APTA YouTube channel, onto the women's semifinals that are going on right now. And we'll see everyone tomorrow for the men's semis and men's finals.
The business owners that I'm working with have entrusted Corient in this work because we're really focused on supporting them in their important endeavors. They're functioning every day in their zone of genius, and their expectation of us is we're doing the same. My name is Anna Diaz. I'm a partner and wealth advisor at Corient. When we think about the work we're doing for our clients, we think about first financial, absolutely. It is not uncommon that our very successful business owners and clients are making disjointed decisions. Our job is to provide a proactive strategy so the filter in which they make these decisions is informed. Second is the emotional load. Our clients often are asking themselves, what am I missing? Our job is to remove that mental load so they feel that their strategy is optimized, is simplified, and is executed cleanly. And the third is generational. Absolutely, there is technical design that goes into that, but it is also the thoughtful impact they want to have with what they've created.
Hi, I'm Tyler Frazier. I'm Eric West, and this is the tip of the week. So obviously, we're a lefty-righty team. Lefty-righty teams, we can create a lot of offense at the net with both having our overheads in the middle, but it can get a little tricky at times being able to communicate with our partners and just trying to figure out who is taking the ball when the ball goes up. Tyler and I, before the match starts, we always love to talk about where we want the ball going more on the court. A good example is, say Tyler and I want to play more on the deuce side. Tyler will play up, and that way I have a clear path. I can kind of direct traffic where I want the overhead to go. Probably on the opposite side, when we want to hit more to the ad court, I'll play up a little bit, and Tyler has a clear path to be able to take the overheads. I think just the biggest key is more communication is better than no communication. So it's just being able to talk to your partner and figure out who's taking that overhead.
I think it's helpful if we just sort of have a system and a game plan going into each match. And we try to discuss that before the match and adjust if needed during the match. But just kind of having a plan of who's going to be the one sort of directing traffic most of the time. And if there's a certain player we want to pick on or not, or if the sun is a factor in the match, that can impact those decisions.
I'm Eric West. I'm Tyler Frazier. And we'll see you guys on the courts here soon, hopefully in Cincinnati.